So today I am going to be cutting my hair into a shag or a wolf cut. I want to add lots of layers. So you can see my hair is just super long. Not too much going on here. I used to have a little bit of layers in the bangs, but that's all grown out. You can see it's just a little bit shorter. So I'm going to straighten this all out and we'll go from there. If I had straight hair, I would just be wetting my hair and cutting it. But because I have curly hair and I sometimes like to wear it straight, I'm going to straighten it all the way out so that I can see where my hair sits straight. Is thoroughly brushed, and that's going to allow me to go ahead and start straightening it out. So I'm going to divide my hair up here, just makes it easier to work with. And I'll divide this other side when I actually start working with it. Okay. I like to start in the back and work my way forward. If I start in the front, then my hair gets in the way of itself. And because my hair is curly and coarse and thick, I use the iron on 450 degrees because otherwise it just doesn't straighten out as well, and I want this to be very straight. Now, the wolf cut adds layers, but it doesn't really take off much length, so I might go back in afterward and cut off maybe like 5 inches of hair because it's just dead. And I had my hair colored before, and that is kind of the last of that treated hair. As you can see, I am taking pretty thin sections here. If you do them too thick, you're not going to get an even ironing, and you're going to get some spots that are like wavy. So it takes a little bit more time, but it's worth it in the end. Check it out. all 4 sections completely straightened out. So you can see the hair is very long, very boring. There's nothing going on here. So next step we're gonna do is to brush it all completely forward. I'm gonna tie it on top of my head. Get a handy dandy hair tie, and here we go. Okay, so there's 2 ways to do this. You can do it here. That's going to give you a shorter bang. So I'm going to do it a couple inches back because I want a little bit more length to my front section. The straighter this is, the better the cut is going to be, so I just want to make sure everything is nice and flat and pulled up. Okay, feel pretty good about that. Okay, so now I've got my fabulous ponytail. Please, 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 go buy yourself some scissors. They're $20 on Amazon. Or you won't have to cut your hair with some chintzy scissors and mess up your hair. Like, if you're gonna mess up your hair, at least like have a nice cut to it. Make it easier to fix. Okay, so I don't really care if I cut off length here, but if you have shorter hair, then you can pull out a piece from the back and measure it to see how long your hair actually is going this way, and that way you don't cut off any length. I'm not really concerned if I cut off any length. I already want at least that much just gone. Brad Mondo says nobody ever cuts off enough on the first try, so we're just gonna go all the way up. No, I'm kidding. Not today. Okay, so let's see here. Wherever I cut here is going to be my shortest layers lining up with this ponytail. So I think I'm gonna go about mid-ear. So about this long. And all right, we're gonna take a good chop off of here. So you always want to measure up first, and then you can bring it down. If you overextend, you're not going to be happy. It's going to mess up the way that you're cutting. So up first. Here we go. And there it is. That was so much hair. Oh my god. I'm pretty sure you can make a small wig out of that. Okay. So as you can see, the ends are pretty blunt right now, which is fine. We're going to smooth that out by point cutting a bit into here. Since my hair is so thick, I'm going to do it in sections so that it's not just cutting into a giant clump of hair, and I can spread it out a bit. Okay. Imagine that haircut. I could be part of cyberpunk with that one. Alright, I'm gonna brush that out before I take this down. Okay, as you can see, that is a much softer, fluffy edge. I've got a few little danglies here, so I'm just going to cut those. Okay, ready? Look at the layers. Yes, okay. So as you can see, it did cut the length for me because I cut a lot off. It was down here. This is perfect. This is so perfect. I'm so happy with this. Okay, so my hair's wet right now. And just saying, like, what if I did a little bang with these, like an actual bang? It'll grow back, right? All right, let's see. No, I definitely want to do this with my hair wet and curly, because if it's straight, I don't know how much it's going to shrink when it dries. So this is definitely the way to go. I still have a little bit of my middle part, but I'm going to redo it just in case. Okay, that is not the middle. Close, but not quite. There we go. Okay, anyway, so I'm gonna go back to here. Okay. So when you cut your bangs, you never want to pull them down, because then you're going to take all the volume out of the top, and when you cut it, it's going to spring up and it's not going to be anywhere that you wanted it to be. So I'm going to start a little longer and do it about here. Sorry, that cut was off camera. But I was literally holding my hair here, and you see how it springs up from nose to eye, right? So when these are actually dry and curly, it's gonna sit right where I want it to. Oh my gosh. All right, let's see how this looks. I can always add more bang too if I want it thicker, but I don't think I want it thicker. All right, I'm gonna dry it. I'll be back. So here's the final look. I love it. It is fluffy and bouncy. It's really everything I wanted from this cut. I think it looks great. I'm very happy with how it turned out.